I'm Denise Pedro, and I wanted to ask you a question today. What would you do if the health official showed up at your front door and said that you had been named by a person who had come down with COVID-19 and that they, and maybe they're bringing police officers with them, they were there to inspect your home and see if they were going to allow you to quarantine in place, if there were enough bathrooms or enough bedrooms or enough square footage to allow you and your family to quarantine in your own home. What if they decided that no, there wasn't enough room? They were going to take you. They were going to forcibly remove you and place you in quarantine at an undisclosed location. What if they decided they were going to take your children and they were going to remove them? Even though children have, according to the data, a much less likely chance of contracting COVID-19. This is the scary reality that we're facing today. This is unprecedented. I have never heard this in my 50 plus years on the planet. As an American, having health officials come to your front door and they're going to decide whether or not you get to stay in your home or not, whether or not your children get to stay in your home or not. That really got my attention. That really struck a chord deep inside of me. You see, back in the 1970s, my father passed away and my mother became very sick and she was no longer able to take care of my brother, my sister, and I. So we were turned over as wards of the court to the County of Los Angeles. And for a short time, about a year and a half, we lived in the foster care system. And I remember, I was about 6 years old. I remember being placed in the back seat of a car. I couldn't see out the window, I was too small. I remember looking at the interior of the car door, the door handle and the handle to roll down the window. This is way back in the day. And I rested my forehead against the side of the car door. And I didn't have the words to say, I need to just survive this. I need to just wait. But I remember that in my childish understanding was what I was saying to myself over and over again. I couldn't see where I was being driven to, and I didn't know if I would ever see my mother again. But at 6 years old, I experienced that terror, and I can remember it, and that heartbroken, just heart-stopping fear, that abandonment, that, again, terror at being forcibly taken away from everything that I knew. My home was gone, my father was gone, and now my mother was gone. And I can tell you that trauma really affected me during my childhood. As an adult, grandmother now, I can look back on that with some measure of maturity and understanding, because we actually had a happy ending. My mother recovered, and with some help of some very good people, we were a family able to be reunited again. But this really got my attention, that health officials with an unprecedented amount of power in Ventura County, in the state of California, and in other states, now have the power to remove children, not because you're sick and you're not able to take care of them, but because somebody else got sick and named you on a list of people that they'd been in contact with. How frightening is that? So I just wanted to say that I don't believe that this is constitutionally correct. I don't believe that as free Americans, we should be subject to this. We did not vote this in. This is something that our politicians in Sacramento voted in. They gave themselves this power over the public, over your family, and over mine. And I can tell you, as a child who had that experience, and now as an adult who can do something about it and keep it from happening to another child and to another family, this is serious business. This is seriously overstepping our constitutional freedoms. I hope that you'll take a moment and you'll think about, what would I do? What would I do if someone named me and they came to the front door to take my child or to take me away. That's a position I hope you're never in, ever. And especially I hope it's not a position that even one more child finds themselves in. I think the time has come for us to stand up, make our voices be heard, and say we will not tolerate this level of intrusiveness. This is tyranny, and we are Americans. We live in California, but we're Americans, and we're not going to stand quietly by and have the state invade our homes and invade our privacies like this. Reach out to me through my campaign website. I'm running, as I said, for District 44 Assembly seat, and I can be reached at voteforpedro.com. I can also be reached on Facebook, Pedro for Assembly, and through Instagram and Twitter. So I look forward to hearing your comments, and I just thank you for listening and giving this some thought this weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and I hope that you really cherish, and I know you will, you'll cherish your families and your children and grandchildren if you're allowed to draw them around you. Have a great day.